Well, good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there in the land. Patriots everywhere. Hope that you're having an opportunity to spend it with the people you love and care about most. And I think that's why we're all here, because we love and care about each other in this Patriot family. Please do take a moment to wish my girlfriend, real Red Pill girlfriend, happy Valentine's Day. Honey, I love you so much. Thank you for everything. I need to get this disclaimer out of the way. Remember that RPN is not responsible for the views, actions, or opinions of its guests or advertisers, and an appearance on RPN is not to be considered an endorsement. The information contained herein is not to be construed as medical or legal advice, and the viewers of this channel are encouraged to do their own research. You guys, we have a great show lined up tonight. My good friend Real Matt Couch is going to be joining us. We had to pre-record this earlier in the week, but we're going to be talking about the situation in regards to his lawsuit. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to come in and we're going to do a live dive on quiet weapons for silent wars. And we're also going to be talking about that crazy History of Cataclysms book, the Adam and Eve story that was previously censored, I guess, and classified by the clowns in America. All right, so please, you guys, do everyone sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Are you guys using a VPN to watch this video? Well, if you're not, you probably should. If you are and it's not Virtual Shield, then you're probably using one that isn't trusted and is selling your data behind your back. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates are some of the creepiest looking people on the planet, and we are willingly letting them know everything about us on a daily basis. Where we shop, who our family and friends are, what our location is, etc. It goes on and on. Our only protection against these digital tyrants is the use of a VPN and our constitutional right to privacy. A VPN, a virtual private network, is a server where you can log on before you browse the internet, and it basically masks or hides your identity to those nasty, nosy data thieves. It's not complicated at all. You just press a button and wow, you're protected. You can sign up now for a free 30-day trial of Virtual Shield VPN, mobile and desktop. This will allow you to create a secure connection to another network over the internet. Virtual Shield can be used to shield your browsing activity from prying eyes, whether you're on a public Wi-Fi connection, in a foreign country, or just at home. Let me show you guys how easy it is. Alright, so here we are. We'll go to what is my IP. You can see it's right there. Now, when I connect to Virtual Shield, that will mask my actual location, and it now shows that I am here in Chicago, Illinois, and my location is secure. In order to honor the passing of one of the NBA's all-time greatest athletes this month, Virtual Shield is offering a 24% off discount on all VPN plans and all premium add-ons, including Protection Plus, Residential Access, and VIP Performance plans for as low as a cup of coffee. Sign up for a free 30-day trial to use Virtual Shield VPN right now and see what the hype is about. You've got nothing to lose. Go to www.virtualshield.com/redpill78. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. All right, good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. Joining me right now for a very, very special presentation is my good friend, journalist, researcher, and fellow truth seeker, Matt Couch. Matt, how are you?
Hey, great to be on the show, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm very, very happy to have you here. So, I think we probably have a lot that we can talk about today, but
Right.
I wanted to start out by talking about this incredible and wholly unfair decision by the judge in your case. You're obviously involved in a defamation lawsuit by the brother of a particular DNC staffer, and they have been hitting you hard. And tell me what happened this week and what was the judge's decision. Well, guys, it looks like we have a slight technical difficulty and the footage was not moving. That is not how it was supposed to look. So let me get it pulled up in another way. I hope that everyone's having a good time. See, we've got lots of Patriots from all across the globe, and EO2 Dave, thank you very much for that super chat. We also have a new member in the house, Patricia Cardwell. Patricia, thank you very much for joining us. Let's see here, guys. I'm just going to get this pulled up, and we're going to do it a different way. Let's see. Okay. All right. So please do bear with me. Also, Susan Hall, thank you for joining. Baby Yoda, my good buddy, he says, hello, remember me? We met on Christian Mingle. Trying not to smile with you and my brother and sis. Always love you. Always love you too, buddy. Okay, here we go. Back to the show. All right, good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this is your Red Pill News. Joining me right now for a very, very special presentation is my good friend, journalist, researcher, and fellow truth seeker, Matt Couch. Matt, how are you?
Hey, great to be on the show, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm very, very happy to have you here. So, I think we probably have a lot that we can talk about today, but we specifically, I wanted to start out by talking about this incredible and wholly unfair decision by the judge in your case. You're obviously involved in a defamation lawsuit by the brother of a particular DNC staffer, and they have been hitting you hard. And tell me what happened this week and what was the judge's decision?
The judge came down with a ruling at the end of last week, gave us till close of business on Monday to turn over all of our source information and audios, videos, recordings, any information we had on sources, which is a complete violation of my First Amendment rights as not only a journalist but an investigator. And in that, it's amazing to me that the suit is a defamation suit, and I'm not, disputing anything that I said. Now, there's some interpretations with what I said. They interpret it one way, I interpret it another, of course. But it's just unbelievable. What do they need this information for? It's absolutely absurd. But there's journalists that have gone to prison, journalists that have gone to jail. For you look at Julian Assange in the embassy for 8 years or more. And we see this across the board. It's why people like you and I have, grown our platforms, because we refuse to cower down. You and I refuse to back down from these kinds of things. And basically, we're gonna appeal it. But for right now, the lawsuit, for people that want to know, it's Rich versus Batowski. It's 18CV00681. It's in the District of Columbia. It's in the second highest court in the land. And he has ruled that I don't have source privilege, and I have to give up all of my recordings, video, and audio sources in our Seth Rich murder investigation. We put out a press release late Sunday night, I believe it was. Does that sound right? Yeah, late Sunday night.
Yeah.
And we put that out, to let our followers know. We let our sources know. And it's just really discouraging, for every journalist out there. I got to give, if you're all right with this, I got to give, of course, you, and then you obviously, Space Shot, some of these guys, that you're, Matthew Caldwell, Jim Hoff with the Gateway Pundit. I've got to give, a few of these people that actually had the courage to report on this. But the silence of the mainstream media on this is what's concerning, and it's deafening. Not one blue check mark, not one verified person has touched this. Outside of a favorite mayor of ours and a few others, but that's concerning to me, because this is a violation of every journalist in the country, whether you're mainstream media, whether you're CNN, whether you're Fox News, whether you're, the little guys over at True Pundit or whoever I'm talking about, should be very alarmed about this ruling. And he hasn't given, put it this way, he hasn't given a ruling. He didn't give any reason. It's just, you're going to do it.
Oh.
And he has a history of ruling that way. We've looked into his cases. He has a history of making judgments without really writing anything about why. That's interesting.
That's really shocking to me. I mean, like, my next question was going to be, on what grounds are they demanding that you hand this stuff over? But, you're saying there's no justification for it? I mean, this is
correct.
A clear violation. And you know what's really upsetting to me is that, you know, whether or not people agree with you or agree with what you've reported on, and because I'm speaking about the entire media here, whether it's, you know, all right. So as I was saying, in regards to the media, I mean, whether they agree with you or not, this sets a dangerous precedent. Because, I mean, obviously, for many, many years, it was kind of accepted that journalists are able to maintain their sources. They're not going to be forced to turn them over. I think it all kind of changed after the Patriot Act came into effect. But even still, it's something that most judges don't like to force the hand on. So it's super shocking to me that this judge won't give you a reason behind it.
Yeah, and you know, according to what we've researched, I mean, he's just got a history of that. Of making judgments without giving a definition of the law or normally when they do these kind of things, they're supposed to write their reasoning. They give a reason. I'm not a lawyer, but I've researched enough. They give a written ruling on why they ruled that way. That's just, especially this a lot of the times if it's in a I don't know, a status hearing or, certain things like that, it's just kind of off the cuff, not a big deal. But when we're talking about an actual major ruling, the other issue that we have in this, and I pulled a press release here so I can read it and not screw it up for your audience. But the interesting thing, and would you be all right if I just read like part of this? Would that be okay? Just that's it's my own words, and this way I don't screw it up,
Tell me what part you're at, and I'll go to it on camera.
Sure, absolutely. I'm at the big paragraph right towards the end, the massive one.
Got it.
I think that's the most important one, and just because Fox News and Malia Zimmerman, they're trying to drag everyone into this, of course, and they're all claiming, they're claiming reporters' privilege. I know that shocks everyone at home, and so this is why I stated this in our press release. Unfortunately, the judge has rejected all of our arguments and has given me until the close of business on Monday to give up my source information, including sources that have absolutely nothing to do with this case, but may lead into this case. We have fought long and hard to protect those involved. We feel like we owe it to those of you that have followed us and supported us to offer you extreme transparency. I said, let it be known that we are against this decision and all that it stands for. It's not right, and it goes against everything that our founding fathers stood for. And I'm going to scroll up real quick to the other one just because I think it's also important. It says in the very next paragraph up, we have fought this decision with everything we have, even pointing out to the judge that at least one other news organization, which that's Fox News, is raising nearly identical issues and that it would be highly prejudicial for a decision to be rendered against us before the judge makes his decision on that other news organization. Now, and he's basically saying, I don't care.
What is the case with Fox? Is that also in this case, or is it a separate case?
They want Malia Zimmerman's sources for Seth Rich as well. Okay. She's the one who was the main reporter on the Seth Rich case for Fox News that Hannity and others reported on. Mm-hmm. And she was in contact with Rod Wheeler, the private investigator who was hired by the family.
Right.
And she's the one who said she had sources with the FBI that had told her that the FBI had viewed the laptop and done other things in the case. So they want her sources within the FBI, even, and so what they're trying to label me. There's a statute. Are you familiar with Ron Coleman, the conservative attorney?
I'm slightly familiar, but
I want to give a shout out to Eden Quaint. He's my attorney that's representing me out of New York, who's been fighting long and hard for us. Eden's a phenomenal attorney, First Amendment guy, and a constitutionalist. He believes in the rule of law, like you're supposed to, and so he's been fighting long and hard. And Ron Coleman, the reason I mentioned him is, I don't know Ron personally. I just know who he is. He reached out yesterday via Twitter, actually commented and said DC has shield laws. Well, I read what the link that Ron Coleman had put on my Twitter feed, and what the judge could be classifying me as is, quote, an amateur journalist. And it says that the same privilege is not provided to amateur journalists or those that report things sporadically. And so there's probably the loophole he's going to try to go with. He hasn't ruled, so I can't say that's what he's thinking. But it's, I said this to you, when we were off the air, I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers because people don't think I'm accurate with what I report.
Right.
And the Seth Rich case, as you know, we've been friends a while now. The Seth Rich case is just one of many. We have busted doors open in the Kavanaugh case, Fast and Furious, Jussie Smollett, Al Baghdadi. Of course, Las Vegas we're known for. We've put out countless accurate information. I mean, we beat everybody on al-Baghdadi by 2 hours. One of my guys on my team, Josh Flippo, I don't know if I've told this story or not, he called me up, and I think it was a Saturday night when that happened. He called me up, and he goes, "Hey, man, we just killed al-Baghdadi." And I'm on Twitter, and I'm like, "Man, I can't report this." He's like, "Brother, trust me, we got him." He's like, "I just got a call from one of my sources in the Middle East."
Nice.
And I'm like, man, and I was scared to death, brother. I didn't want to. I was scared to be the first one to put that out.
Of course, yeah.
I was scared to death, and he's like, "Matt," he's like, "trust me on this one. I would not do this to you." I said, "All right," and we ran with it, and we were right.
That's awesome.
So I'll never doubt his sources ever again, especially militarily. It's just stuff like that, and that's the frustrating part for me. Is these guys that are suing us are trying to throw us in and saying that we're like this one-trick pony. That if you've ever been to our website at the DC Patriot, as you know, 99% of that website has nothing to do with Seth Rich.
Right.
It's reporting news, investigations, accurate reporting. We talk about politics, the economy, Valentine's Day. It's a complete news site.
And you're putting out content on a daily basis.
Right. Yeah. And you would agree, I think, 9 out of 10 times, maybe 99 out of 100 times, that content's got nothing to do with Seth Rich.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's our frustration, to say that we're not that I'm not a journalist. I hate to say a media group, because I don't have a company. It's just me. I have some pro bono patriots that help me, but I'm the only one that earns a living doing this. And I'm not sure it's the brightest career decision I ever made, but
Well, it's good work, though, I mean, like, it's not just that it's a career decision. I mean, like I said in the intro, you're fighting for truth. You're trying to bring some really awful people down, and in the process, bring up the rest of us here in America. Because the only way that's going to happen is through discovering and uncovering the truth.
Absolutely. And the anomalies in the Seth Rich case, and I don't want to, go through them all, because as you know, I can talk about this for days.
Sure.
But, I'm just going to kind of throw a few facts out there for people that may not know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think what's your thoughts on this? I do believe that in the last month or more, it is getting steam again, this investigation, with things that have transpired. You look at we uncovered the Struck and Page emails from Judicial Watch. We got a little tip. I got a call on Friday night that said, "Hey, there's something we're about to drop. You should take a look at. Page 123 to 125 are going to be kind of important." And so my guys were like, and then by Saturday morning we had that out, and there was literally, emails between, Peter Struck and Lisa Page about Seth Rich.
Yeah.
And one of those emails said, "I squashed it." What did you squash? And why is it that those two are always involved in everything, man? Why, have you ever thought about that?
They got their fingers in every pie.
Everything. And so, but, in that Seth Rich investigation, the body cams, we just got FOIA requests back. The case will be 4 years old, July 10th of this year. 4 years, cold case. They sent us we sent FOIAs again on a whole bunch of stuff in the last week or so. We try to keep constantly pounding them, and just got them back. And it said, we can't give you the body cams because it could hamper an ongoing investigation. An ongoing investigation? It's almost been 4 years. 4 years. We have the body cams in Vegas. We have the body cams in the Parkland shooting. But you can't. What was said what was said? That's something was said.
Exactly. The only thing that I can think is, if it truly is an ongoing investigation, then it's all about timing. I mean, they don't want to come out. They must be trying to time the investigation into Seth and what happened to him with other things that were happening in DC at the time, because clearly they were all related.
I agree. I mean, that's what our hope is. You hope there's some good guys. And something else on the judge has ordered. He's also said, that we can't. Originally said that I could not take depositions.
Oh,
but yet the plaintiff was allowed to get 10 depositions, and he told me I could have 0. And I was on a teleconference with him. It's a court. It's court report. People can go out there and read this, and it's on the record. And he basically said, "Have you ever, interviewed or, and I don't know if the word is interrogated, but maybe, cross-referenced anyone in a federal court?" And I said, "No, Your Honor, I haven't." And he was basically like, "Well, you're not going to make a mockery out of mine."
Wow.
And so, that's against my constitutional rights as well.
Yeah.
Then I was blessed enough to get Eden Quainton to come on board, who's been I can't say enough about this guy. True patriot, fighting hard for us. And he says, okay, you can have 5 depositions, but you have to run them by me and I'll approve them. Also not how this works.
No.
And the list just goes on and on. There's some other things I can't talk about, you know. It's just crazy stuff. And we're just fighting. But yeah, you look at the body cams, you look at the fact that nothing was taken. You look at the fact that, you know, everybody that we have talked to in this investigation, you know, is just kind of zipped up about it all of a sudden. You look at Rod Wheeler, you know, Rod Wheeler, the PI who was first on it, everyone he went to talk to, you know, the brother had already talked to them and told them not to talk to him about things. Don't talk about the emails. Don't talk about WikiLeaks. And, you know, this is all going to come out. And it's just unbelievable. No toxicology, no autopsy, no ballistics report, no body cams, not, you know, the most guarded city in the world. I don't know if you know how, you probably do. You're on the East Coast somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say where you're at. You're up near Maine or something like that, right? You know, I'm in the Midwest in Arkansas. So, you know, but, you know, you look at it like that and they know when you're going into DC. I don't know how many people realize this. Like if you're 30 miles out, they already have the parameter set up. They know what vehicles, they have all of this anywhere into that capital. They know. So you mean they can tell if, you know, if I was leaving New York, what is that, probably 3 hours, something like that to DC?
Something like that,
I don't know. But if I'm leaving New York and heading to DC, 30 minutes before I get to DC, they know I'm on my way in. But yet you're going to tell me there's not one camera that picked up Seth Rich that night? Yeah. Not one?
Statistically impossible.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, and it's just crazy. You know, it's just crazy.
With regard to the judge's decision, I mean, you said you had until end of business yesterday to hand over all that information. So obviously, I mean, you're not in jail, so I'm assuming that you did hand it over. And, you know, I mean, like we were talking about this earlier. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of people who think that they know what they would do if they were in that situation. But, you know, this is the kind of thing that I don't think anybody could possibly know unless they get there. You know, you're not Malia Zimmerman. You don't have the full weight of Fox News at your back so that you can go ahead and fight this. You know, so what happened and how did that go?
Well, we had to give the information up, obviously, you know, talking with my attorneys and my group, you know, that investigates with me. It was one of those decisions where you look at what happened to Epstein, you know, we didn't have a warm and fuzzy feeling if I were to, you know, it sounds really cool to have 1,000 people in the streets with free Matt Couch shirts and me chanting Attica and stuff. But, you know, it sounds really cool on paper. But I like living, and I've got 2 young daughters, as you know. You and I've talked about that. You know, and I'm a single dad, and I have, you know, joint custody. And so, you know, all these people that are claiming, you know, hey, Matt, go to jail. You should, yeah, I've had so many people, suck it up, Buttercup, and go to jail. Okay, well, if I go to jail, there's no articles on the DC Patriot. There's no Matt Couch Twitter feed. There's no Matt Couch Facebook or Gab or Parler or any of these sites. There's no Matt Couch coming on your program or others. So there's no income coming in. So who's going to pay the lights here? Who's going to keep the rent? I'm going to lose my place. I'm going to lose custody of my kids because I have no doubt in my mind that, you know, if my ex-wife went back to court and said, and the judge said, where's he at? Why isn't he in court today? Oh, he's in jail. Yeah. I can already hear the gavel slam.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so people that want to say that, yeah, so we gave the information over. It is attorney's eyes only. It is not going to be made public. It is only between the opposing counsel and my counsel. That's it. Is the only ones who can see this, besides me, of course, because I had the information. And everything is redacted. Names are redacted.
Oh, good.
So they're not going to have any names. They're just going to be able to hear the conversation. They don't know who we're talking to. They're just going to hear the conversation on the audios. And so we gave that up. And even on the one video we had, I don't want to say who knows about that because I don't want to get certain people subpoenaed.
Sure.
But the one video that we had, we redacted the video and just pulled out the audio.
Okay.
Of that video and submitted that. So we gave them what they wanted, but I was not going to give the face of my source. I mean, that's just not right.
Right.
And so, you know, a lot of people don't understand. We played this the best way that we could. We're gonna live to fight another day. We're going to appeal, of course. There's a big thing that's going to happen in about a week. And if you have time, I would like we'll talk about this off the record.
Okay.
But it's going to be so big that I think even the mainstream media will be reporting on it.
Oh,
I'll put it that way.
All right.
It's going to be that big, but yeah. So just I hope did that sum it up good? I hope.
Yeah. I think that's definitely good. I mean, I think that a lot of people will probably, stop being so nervous Nancy about it as long as they know that people's names are not going to be given up. I can
Correct.
imagine that. Any of the people saying that you should be going to jail rather than, turning this information over and just destroying your entire life, they're probably thinking about the safety of those sources and whether or not they're even going to be around anymore once their names
Correct.
are turned over to these big DNC lawyers. So, yeah, I don't fault you, Matt. We've talked about this and you know how I feel about it. You have to be there for your kids. You have to be there to continue, this fight that you've got going on here. If your website goes down, that's it. It's all over. I mean, like maybe you can pick it up again, but you and I both know that momentum is part of this game, and especially with the information that you're putting out, you are doing the God's work when it comes down to it. Because who else is out there continuing to research and investigate into what happened in that DC street back in 2016? It's just you and your team.
It absolutely is.
No, go ahead.
Sorry about that, buddy.
It's okay.
No, you're right. It absolutely is, and of course we've got dead man switches in place with information and things like that. There are people on this team, as you know, that I don't even know their real identities.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asked in my deposition by the opposing counsel, well, how do you know to trust those people if you don't know who they really are? Well, trust is earned.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come forward and they come through with information on a repeated basis, like a Hannibal Mood has, or like a Larry Beach on our team. Obviously, their names aren't Hannibal Mood and Larry Beach, but if they are, those are probably the two greatest names in the history of American names. So, it's one of those things where, you could write a new Miami Vice script with Hannibal Mood and Larry Beach, as the new Crockett and Tubbs. So, but obviously, when they continuously deliver with information and the information checks out, and then of course the question from the opposing counsel, well, Mr. Couch, how do you vet information? Oh, I just throw it up in the air and see which way it lands, and then I'm like, yeah, let's go with that. It's like, no, Frank Whalen, 23 years head of homicide squads for NYPD. Bill Pierce, 30-year licensed private investigator. Josh Flippo, 12 years, multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. 2 wide on our team. We call him Brick. Military intelligence officer. We have a slew of people. And a lot that I don't name, that I never have named, that, can run information. And you've got people too, Mm-hmm. I mean, it's, we have people. You're not, when you come through and you come through and you're doing a report and, and you blast it out through Red Pill and everything, it's not like you didn't just go, well, I think that's accurate. I'll just go report it.
Exactly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We don't do it that way. Neither do you. So that's always one of those things that's always alarming to me, is that the opposing counsel, it's like they didn't know anything about the case hardly. I think they knew that they didn't like me.
Yeah.
I think the judge doesn't like me. Pretty confident in that. He's made that abundantly clear. But outside of that, I'm just a guy trying to solve a murder. And that's about it.
What's the process with the appeal? I mean, because I guess it seems kind of a moot point if you've already been forced to hand over the information, and then you appeal it and they grant the appeal. I mean, are they just going to give the information back and unhear it?
That's the real kicker. I mean, I don't really believe that there's anything on what we've provided that puts anyone in danger. Okay. Because the sources themselves are not known. Their names are redacted. We don't mention their names on the audio, and if we did, we redacted their names out. You might hear a first name, mm-hmm. On some of the audios, but it's not going to be like, hey, this is Matthew C. Couch. Sure. So that part makes me feel good. In fact, last night I was on the phone with, my attorney for countless hours working on this stuff. And, he's even we had to turn over emails. He's even redacting out, names and emails mm-hmm. that we turned over to them. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And then here's the other thing. Everything that they're giving my counsel is marked attorney's eyes only, so I can't see it.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So how am I supposed to build a defense for myself if I can't see any of the information that they're handing over?
Is your attorney able to share that information in other ways, or he has to just hold on to it and then tell you to, throw a dart in the dark?
Pretty much. And I know he's got some things that he's going to have to address with the judge, which is like, hey, you can't give all these documents and then be like, oh, my client can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense. It's there's, not trying to be cocky, but I mean, my attorney will tell you the same thing. There's nobody that knows more about this case in this country than me.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent 3 years of my life investigating this. We've broke 99% of what everyone is putting out. I want to say this too. I'm honored by the hundreds of people each day that send me links to things. But it's one of those things where everything they're sending me, they're like, hey, Matt, have you read this? I'm like, yeah, I broke that in September of 17.
That happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and that's the majority of it, but I'm really happy that they're reading and they're researching and they're, as Q says, do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy to see people are actually doing that and heeding that. So not trying to knock anyone, please keep doing your own research, but
Absolutely.
I do get amused that everything they're sending me is stuff that we broke. But everything's redacted. There's no names that were out. No names were given out. They will hear audio, of the sources. And you're going to, I might as well tell you this. I mean, she's actually out there doing some rounds on media. She's so pissed at these guys. But one of our sources in the Seth Rich case is a naval intelligence officer. She's a linguist, speaks 7 languages, used to work in the United Kingdom and the U.S. Embassy. Highly qualified source.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things there too that this just doesn't look good for them. I don't know what their game plan is, but it's not like there's anything, that says that this thing was not being obstructed in some way.
Absolutely. And here's a question that I've always had when it comes down to defamation of whom?
The brother.
The brother. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, what they're claiming is we have a source who, the source told me that the brother knew the hit was coming. And so a hit, is a robbery.
Mm-hmm.
In Arkansas, if a jewelry store gets robbed, we say that jewelry store got hit.
Yeah.
That's just southern slang. And they literally were trying to flip it and say that I said he knew that his brother was going to be murdered.
Sure.
And that's what they're trying to claim that I said, which is not true. It's not even remotely true. It's not what I meant. And they're trying to say that's what was interpreted. And it's just, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the real issue here is, and this is where I wish if we lived in a perfect world, the real issue is there's an unsolved murder in the District of Columbia. It's going on 4 years. Should we be focused on that? Or should we be focused on shutting up Matt Couch and others who want to investigate this?
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty clear. I mean, I think when it comes down to it, there's a lot of people who have a vested interest in just making this story go away. And part of this defamation lawsuit is just to make you go away. Stop talking about it because they're going to keep harassing you until they get to the point where it's impossible for you to continue your work.
Right. Absolutely. And we knew when, we were trying to figure out a way to make this go away before we had legal representation.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Pierce is a private investigator on my team and one of my best friends in life who, he's, like my partner in crime, whatever you want to call him, we've known each other for 25 years. And we were trying to figure out a way to make it go away because we didn't have the resources to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the money to fight them. And so we were like, okay, well, what if we pull down? I mean, Aaron's upset, the brother, he's upset. Why don't, we said, well, why don't we just say, hey, we're sorry. We didn't mean to upset you. And we'll quit talking about him and we'll just continue our investigations.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought we were heading towards that path. That was a year and a half ago, something like that. And we thought we were coming to a happy median. And they came back, and this is when we knew what their true intentions were.
Mm-hmm.
They came back and they said, look, our client says that it's no deal unless you quit talking about Seth Rich altogether, which they have no right to do.
Yeah.
You can't sue on behalf of the dead. Number one, that's a federal statute. You can't sue on behalf of the dead. And it's an unsolved murder. We have a right to investigate it.
Yeah.
So just to I don't know if I've ever told that story or not. So.
No, you haven't. That's interesting. Can you tell me one more thing? Is that handler from the DNC still involved with this case? I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
I can help you. Yeah, Brad Bauman.
That's him.
No, he is no longer involved. He sued me and then dropped the lawsuit, and now he is trying to avoid being served by our process servers in our lawsuit.
And
so he is hiding.
So are you trying to depose him?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, I would love to see his communications between him and the family and the brother and other people within the DNC. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he sued me and then dropped the lawsuit, that's malicious prosecution. Mm-hmm. We'll see where this leads. But he's definitely avoiding getting served.
Have you been able to successfully depose any people in this lawsuit, or have they also tried to dodge you and get away?
We have got some depositions coming up. I'm not sure if I can talk about those or not.
Of course.
But we do have some depositions coming up that are going to be very, very pivotal in this. We had 3 that were granted deposition-wise by the judge. And I don't want to name them just because I don't know if I can or not on that type of thing.
No, it's fine.
But they're big, they're very big. And it's interesting. Now the interesting thing is I can tell you that Rod Wheeler, if you're familiar with Rod,
yeah,
my attorney just did his deposition Friday.
Oh, very nice.
And they've even set this up. Everything they did, man, was to keep information, like you said, down. Mm-hmm. But it's attorney's eyes only for 30 days, the deposition. So I can't even see it for 30 days, which gives them time, to scramble and try to clean up things. But I can tell you that Rod Wheeler's deposition, when it comes out, is not good for the other side.
Yeah. Is that normal? Is that normal that they keep stuff away from the clients? I mean, because I find it hard to believe that the other side is not going and speaking with their clients about this stuff.
That's the thing. I can't say that I think it is normal.
Okay.
I'm obviously not an attorney, but I'm frustrated. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. I haven't talked to him in a long time. He's been very sick. Ed Batowski's been in the hospital for about 2 months off and on. He had a hip replacement, and then he had a hip replacement that went bad. It had an infection, and so he's had it rough. So my thoughts and prayers out to my friend Ed Batowski. I feel for him. I mean, he's a good dude, and he's. I look at, they've really went after this guy. He and I have had our differences in the past, but it was not over anything. It was over protecting, for all the people that think I should go to jail. The one thing that Ed and I, butted heads on, and I've said this publicly, is that I didn't want to give up sources to the media. Mm-hmm. And that's why we kind of had a falling out, and that'll all come out in the court case. But we patched that up. We patched it up, and things are good now. He's a good guy, but I look at him like Donald Trump, and the reason why I say that is, he didn't have to do this. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to get involved. The guy's a wealth manager, manages one of the biggest portfolios in the nation. He's took a massive financial hit on this, lost millions of dollars to try to do the right thing as well. And they've went after this guy with everything they have. Yeah. So, but they'll also tell you this too, these attorneys that are suing us, one of them is the former associate White House counsel. These attorneys are making $1,800 an hour.
Not small potatoes.
But they're doing it pro bono. They tell you.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's what their fees are, $1,800 an hour. But they're doing it pro bono because it's the right thing to do.
Oh my goodness.
If you believe that.
Yeah. No, I don't believe it. I'm sure the DNC is paying them.
Someone is.
Yeah. Well, Matt, do you have anything else coming up that you want to tell us about, or anything that you want the audience to know?
Just say some prayers out there for our sources and our team. My guys, and support the truth. When Red Pill puts out something, share it. Share the broadcast on your Facebook pages, on your Twitter accounts, Gab, Parler, whatever platform you use, MeWe, I don't care, but share information. When you see somebody that's putting out the truth, the only way that our message gets out there, the only way that you get your message out there, that I get my message out there, is if our followers have the courage to share the information. Mm-hmm. It doesn't do us any good if we're just talking into a cave. And, it's great to, to hear that you're doing a great job. But it's even better if we can amplify the truth and really get it out there. And, that would be my one thing to end on, would just be to encourage people, when you see the truth, please share it. That's the only thing that's going to get this thing over the hump.
Okay. Excellent. I completely agree. All right. So, Matt, people can find you on Twitter. They can find you on Facebook. They can find you at your website. That's the DCPatriot.com. And I believe you're Real Matt Couch on Twitter. How can they find you on Facebook? Is it also just Real Matt Couch?
It is. Yes, sir. It's Facebook.com and then the little / Real Matt Couch.
All right, sweet. All right, well, Matt, from myself and my audience, thank you so much for your continued efforts to get to the bottom of this case, because I know that many people are waiting with bated breath because they want to know exactly what happened. And I think in the end, this is all going to come out. It's just a matter of timing. I tend to think that the people who were involved in taking this young man's life, they're also involved in a lot of other things taking place in D.C. right around that time. So I think we're probably going to see it all coming to a head. I'm hoping in the spring.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Just we have to stay the course.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thanks again, Matt, for joining us. I do appreciate it. And as always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Hey, guys, it's Red Pill. Just one more thing. I just want to say thank you. Don't go anywhere, guys. The show is still on. Thank you so much to Matt Couch, the premier researcher in this case. Nobody is doing the work like Matt Couch and his team. You guys, I have to say thank you to all of my viewers that are watching right now. We've got almost 3,200 people watching, guys. If you could do me a favor, just leave a like. Leave a like. It's so easy. Just hit that thumbs up. Help us get this video out to as many people as possible. It's only through the support of you guys that I am able to reach as many people as I do. Patricia Cardwell, thank you for joining as a member. EO2 Dave, thank you very much for that super chat. Susan Hall, also thank you for joining as a member. My good friend Baby Yoda, he says, hello, remember me? We met on Christian Mingle. I love that one. That's my favorite of the night so far. Son of a Green Card, he says, get gup. I don't know what that means, but thanks, Son of a Green Card. The guy's on tour, loving your work from the UK. Glad you're watching, and congratulations on Brexit. Gaffer Anon says, I only take legal and medical advice from Red Pill 78. Anyone else would be uncivilized. Thank you for that, Gaffer. And Matt, please do unblock Gaffer Anon on Twitter. He's a good friend and a brother. Jackie Reinick, thank you very much for joining as a member as well. Abraham Lincoln 2020 says, letting McCabe go is apples and oranges, but soon to be ball and chains. Cannot agree with you more on that one, Abraham Lincoln 2020. You guys, anybody who's freaking out, anybody who's worried about what's going on, this is only a single item that McCabe was declined to be prosecuted on. Keep in mind who was involved in this case. The recently fired U.S. Attorney Jesse Liu. Jesse Liu was involved, so who knows what was tainted as far as that evidence in that case right there. Still, treason and sedition, that is on the table, and that is what Durham is checking into. Janice B., thank you for that super chat. Social Observer says, Matt Couch is an amazing journalist, and I have to agree. Matt, once again, thank you for stopping by this week, and I really do want to have you back for a full 2 hours. I know that maybe it's a little nerve-wracking to take the call-ins when you're in the midst of this case. Bearable Light, where we go one, we go all. Thank you for that. Social Observer says, do you think Barr is running cover for the deep state? No, I do not think Barr is running cover for the deep state. Barr just appointed a special prosecutor or a special U.S. attorney to look into the Michael Flynn case. I do think that Bill Barr has our back 100%. He is part of the plan. This is happening, guys. Don't worry. Chris Hawkins says, thank you for being a voice. I am honored and pleased to be here with you guys and be able to help share this information. Baby Yoda says, a happy very everything to you, yours, and a special shout out to your mom. Mom, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Best to you all, and happy Thanksgiving. You got me. Baby Yoda says 12 Days of Christmas. Rich Knapp says great shows, Red Pill, and with great guests. Pleasure to follow. And then Nebush says DNC lawyers. We know what that means. Brenda Veranzi. Where'd you go, Brenda? May the armor of God surround you. Patriots have your back. Thank you, Red Pill 78. We are the army of digital soldiers. You're right, guys. We are the first wave in this fight. All right. And what is going on right there? Why is it not... show okay, sorry, my stream is not caught up with what it's actually going on right now. I got a little scared. Chris Hawkins says, over the target you are, Yoda said. Yes, that's exactly how Yoda would say it. Son of a Green Card says, Durham has got this, guys. Stop freaking out. It's not helping anyone. They will pay for their high crimes, not the petty things they do to us. if we had to waste our time on all of the petty little crimes that these people committed, then we wouldn't be able to pay attention to the most important trial of the century, which is soon to be coming up. Do you guys remember Nuremberg, the war crimes tribunal that took place after the big one, WW2? Well, this is going to make that pale in comparison. This is going to be big. It's going to be huge. The biggest thing you've ever seen. Court TV came back for a reason, in my opinion. Then Baby Yoda, thank you for that super chat. And Philip Collins, thank you so much, Philip, for that super chat. All right, you guys. So we've got a couple of interesting things that I wanted to go over today before we get into the call-in. But when we do get into the call-in, we're going to have some interesting things to talk about. Right here on the screen, I have Behold a Pale Horse by none other than Milton William Cooper. This is an excellent book. This is one of the seminal works in terms of truth-telling, and I highly suggest that you guys get yourself a copy of it. Bill Cooper was a patriot. He was a soldier in the fight for truth, and he was taken from us at far too young an age. Sam McKinstry says, Uniform Code of Military Justice, treason. Absolutely. Before I go any further, I do just want to say once again to everybody who sent a super chat, and especially thank you to all of my moderators who are here tonight. You guys, I love you all. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys. I know you could probably be out doing something else, and the fact that you're here, it means a lot. Let's see. So, I have Behold a Pale Horse pulled up here because the very first chapter is called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, and it goes over the document that I talked about in my video just the other day. This right here, an introduction to programming manual, this was that two-part document. So we've got initially the information presented in Bill Cooper's book, which was an incomplete version of this major document right here. Denise says, do you listen to the audio? Denise, I lost it, okay? So if you can send it to me again, I would really appreciate it. I moved it off of the message to put it onto my phone, and then I don't know where it went. So yeah, please send it again on Discord or on Twitter, either one. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to send you the link. This was in the pinned comment. I saw a lot of people saying they couldn't find the pinned comment the other day, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the pinned comment is below the description of the video. When the comments begin, I make a comment every time and I pin it to the top, so it will always be the very top comment. And of course it says it's from Red Pill 78. There's information about my sponsor, and then you'll find show notes in there as well. Now, in most cases, I also have information contained in the description of the video, including, different ways you can support the program. If you want to send me a letter, I get lots of letters, and I do appreciate that. Lynn Little is now a subscriber and a supporter of the channel. Thank you very much, Lynn. So there is that link for Quiet Weapons for Silent Wars, and that's in case you guys want to go ahead and pull that up. Now, I'm actually going to send another version of that document, which is broken down in just a slightly different way. Now, right here, the first one is from Coalition of the Obvious, and then the second is from Stop the Crime. Dascam says, Red Pill 78 is my Valentine's date tonight. Oh, man, I'm glad to be here, guys. Now, before we get into this stuff, you guys, I wanted to get into the posts from our favorite Anon, because I saw a lot of maybe discontented individuals in the chat throughout the evening. And I think that this tweet right here from CJ Truth, CJ, good job. Glad you got on the board again. This really sums up what's going on. So he says, hat tip to Bill PLC guy for helping on this one. Do you think nothing's happening? You might want to think again. Here's a week in review. Do you remember when our favorite Anon wrote on Sunday, February 9th of this week? Justice. So what has happened since Q said that? Right there, post 3849, justice. And I don't think that Q would use that term lightly, because I really do believe that we're at the point where stuff is happening. And I just want to make sure everybody is aware that Michael Avenatti was convicted on all of his charges, this being his first trial only. There are still more cases pending and ongoing. He's still got to go to the whole other side of the country. He's facing 42 years in prison. Do you guys remember when Michael Avenatti was the darling of the left, and he showed up on every single talk show? Every single talking head was giving him an opportunity to speak on their program. on CNN, on MSDNC, but Michael Avenatti is now facing, the rest of his life in prison. It's no small potatoes. So first of all, this week, what do we have? We have a Chinese telecommunications conglomerate, Huawei, and subsidiaries charged in a racketeering conspiracy and conspiracy to steal trade secrets case. Well, I think that's a pretty big deal. And this is on top of everything else that's happening there in regards to their health. I'm not seeing any comment section appearing on this video. Charles, you're looking at the chat. You have to close the chat before you can get to the comment section. When the chat is open, then the comments aren't going to show. This is mostly talking about my pre-recorded videos, which are released throughout the week. So go ahead and do this. Oh, and then what else happened? Jussie Smollett was indicted on 6 charges for his hoax crime. That was by that special prosecutor. Let's see. They said he was the Holy Spirit. Okay. Yes, they did. They said he was the Holy Spirit. I couldn't believe it. And then number 2, the Justice Department launches a legal assault to roll back sanctuary cities. That's a pretty big deal. That's crazy. Yeah. AG Barr then announced that Rudy Giuliani had turned over to them the investigative information about the Ukraine corruption with the former administration, with Renegade's administration. I'd say that's a pretty big deal. And then Trump goes on a Twitter spree highlighting that nothing ever happened to the crimes that Tony Podesta did, drawing attention to that guy. Then Trump torches corrupt Judge Amy Berman Jackson about injustices about Manafort, but gave HRC a pass. Then Michael Avenatti is found guilty of all charges. Thank you, Denise. And then we've got Roger Stone's sentencing evaluated by Attorney General Barr as being outrageous. 9 years for lying to Congress. And if you forcibly assault somebody in a certain way, it's only 3 to 5 years. And then the 4 corrupt Mueller investigators all resigned. Every single one of them resigned after giving Roger Stone this crazy sentencing guideline. And AG Barr talks about it. And then I'm here to announce the indictment of Chinese military hackers for breaking into the computer systems of the credit reporting agency Equifax and for stealing the sensitive personal information of nearly half of all American citizens. That's a pretty big deal. Then our favorite president fired White House NSC advisor Alexander Vindman and his brother, I might add. Then Trump fires Gordon Sondland, the ambassador to the European Union, the first person to testify against him in that sham impeachment hearing. Then Trump NSC National Security Council removes 70, count them, 70 former Obama holdovers with more even coming. Star Karma says, can't wait for Roseanne, RP, and M3, where we go one, we go all. Oh, he said it twice. So nice. He said it twice. Thank you. Yeah, guys, don't forget to tune in on Sunday, Comfy Sunday, with my friend and co-host Methods. We're going to be having Roseanne Barr on the program. I do want to give you a public service announcement ahead of time. Roseanne does use profanity when she speaks. We decided that the best thing to do would be to allow her to be herself, because we want her to speak openly and honestly about the things she has experienced. So if you were thinking about having your children watch that episode, maybe, don't do that. But still, it's up to you. But I just want you to know you might hear some potty mouth. And then, so after we, then after we have that information, then we have Lindsey Graham sent a letter to Attorney General Bill Barr on Friday asking that he make 17 officials, many of whom are identified only by title, available for interviews. Then we learn that Durham is scrutinizing John Brennan's handling of the Russian interference in 2016. That's a pretty big deal. Then Attorney General Barr installs outside prosecutor to review the case against General Flynn. Amid the turmoil in the Roger Stone case and refusal to charge Andrew McCabe at the USAO DC, the AG has sent outside prosecutors to review politically sensitive cases. That means that all of these things are being taken care of by outsiders, not people in Washington, D.C. Everything that was involved with these crooked U.S. attorneys and holdovers from the last administration from Washington, D.C., they are no longer involved in these cases. We have outside people looking into it and looking into the criminal activity of the people that were formerly looking over them. You guys, this has been the biggest week so far. And we get all of this right after our favorite Anon says justice. Justice and bam, 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 bam. Nothing's happening. Look around you. There is all you need to do. Look around you and you will see that everything is happening right now according to plan. Rizzy Truth says, real news with Red Pill 78 and many other channels fighting to give us truth and logic over feelings. Fairies make me laugh. Oh, yes, hater-proof. No political correctness on Sunday. You guys, P-Pound wants to know if we're going to have call-ins. Yes. The first hour with Roseanne is going to be an interview performed by Methods and myself. And then in the second hour, all three of us will be taking calls, your calls. You guys will be able to call in and ask Roseanne questions directly. I do want to ask everyone ahead of time to stay on topic. Please also keep your question to 2 to 3 minutes so that Roseanne will have a chance to answer, and as many people as possible will be able to call in. If we go over the time limit, guys, we're going to be going on to the next caller, and that's nothing personal. It's just because I know how many of you want to talk to Roseanne. So then he ends with, this is only Friday afternoon, too. As I said earlier, for those crying about McCabe getting off for lying, you really don't understand the big picture. If you start really paying attention, then you won't be the kid on the left, but be the kid on the right. Enjoy your weekend. Look at that. Two kinds of Anons. Do something, Q, and this is warfare. Trust the plan. Where do you guys think I am? I'm this baby right here. This guy on the right. And this is why I'm so happy all the time, is because I can objectively look at what's going on and see the bigger picture, and I'm able to trust the plan. It's not about blind faith. It's about logic and reasoning and looking at the elements of this movement and understanding exactly what is going on. Ams Dave says, you are the journalist extraordinaire. Well, that's very kind of you, Ams Dave. I do appreciate that. You guys, I think I want to go over these other. Barr said Epstein was a suicide. Okay, I don't think Barr believes that. I think that there is an ongoing investigation into that, and if Barr was to come out and say, this was something fishy, then it would immediately taint the pool in terms of the investigation. Barr has to appear to be fully removed. Have you ever seen Barr tip his hat in any one way or another? Maybe a little bit in questioning in Congress, but everything else, Barr is real low profile, real level. He does not want people to think that he is favoring one thing or another, because if he did, then they're already trying to have him removed. They're trying to remove him right now, and he is extremely level-headed on all this stuff, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for those stupid chats. I do appreciate that. So we're going to go to the Axiom report now because, oops, it went to the wrong screen. You guys, this is the report from Sean Hannity that Q dropped while I was on the air with Matt Couch. So this perfectly encapsulates the things that are going on and the way that I feel. Axiom report, good job on getting queued, and I am already followed by you, so I have followed you now as well. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Sean.
We have more good news. The McCabe dismissal is, frankly, when you really look at it, it's a declination to prosecute on one specific issue. Here's my read between that and General Flynn news today, because we know that Barr just installed an outside counsel to look into the General Flynn case. So I'm reading the tea leaves here, and my sources confirming, the same sources that I've been using for you and getting the story right for 3 years, that the Attorney General, Bill Barr, is now focused on something much bigger, much deeper, that will have far-ranging ramifications, serious ramifications for the...
I just want to say, what do you guys think are going to have far-ranging ramifications, serious ramifications? Treason and sedition. Treason and sedition. These people tried to overthrow the president of the United States. Nobody gets away from this. No deals. No deals. This is what we are taking people to court for, not for stupid things like lying to the FBI. Of course they lied. If we went by just them lying to officials, then they would, we would clog up the courts for years, and then the appeals process. We're only taking them in on one thing, and that is treason. You guys know what the punishment for treason is.
That 1% that abuse power, that 1% involved in the corruption, those deep state bureaucrats who abuse their power. Because as we speak, the Durham Barr criminal probe is underway. I've been told by my sources That, in fact, it has gone deep, it has gone wide, it has gone far, and the evidence they are accumulating is overwhelming and incontrovertible. That's what my sources are telling me tonight. On this program, we refer to all of this as the investigation into the investigators. Now, according to reports, this investigation is scrutinizing the actions now, and we've been wondering when this is going to come. Former CIA Director John Brennan and many other current and former deep state officials responsible for the Russia hoax. Remember, the origins of the Russia hoax. That's the heart of the investigation, and now it has expanded out far and wide. Durham has spent weeks in Italy and Great Britain. That would tell me and indicate to me that the outsourcing of intelligence gathering and spying on Americans to circumvent American law is in play. I am told that this evidence that we already have, that it was about premeditated fraud on a FISA court. Nobody else in the media got that story right. We got it right on this program. The evidence is proven. It's a slam dunk case.
Slam dunk case, slam dunk charges. You guys, all you gotta do is listen to Sean Hannity right there. We already know that Sean Hannity is getting information directly from the source. Our favorite Anon is feeding it to Sean Hannity because he is the highest profile conservative talking head on the air. Dascom says, you are like a Johnny Carson of QAnon Truth or News. I can deal with that. I like that. I like that a lot. I like Johnny Carson when I was a kid. You guys, it's a slam dunk case. Slam dunk, okay? We know all about it. These people are not getting away. Okay, so we've got that Q post from Dan Bongino where he said, why does it keep going over there? Dan says, I'm not playing the game until the Durham investigation concludes. I strongly encourage you to do the same. Check out this for more details. Well, obviously, we can't listen to the, Brunette 38 Hollow Point. Love the vaping. Been vaping for 6 years. Good for you. Yes. I do want to say a special hello to the viewer who sent me a message today about vaping, who seems to disagree with my vaping. We can agree to disagree. Vaping saved my life as far as I'm concerned. It stopped me from smoking cigarettes, and now that I vape, my lungs are nice and healthy. AJ DeBeje says, Barr letting him off the hook for lying allows him to dismiss for Flynn and Stone. Exactly it does. So it's all about setting precedents here, guys. Good catch, AJ. It's all about setting the precedent. If they're not going to go after McCabe for lying, then, how can they go after Stone and how can they go after Flynn, especially when those guys did nothing. They pale in comparison to what happened with Andrew McCabe lying about setting up the president and setting up other people. Yeah, the left is going to be cocky about this ruling. Oh, they are going to be cocky. But you know what? I don't care. I don't mind watching them fall flat on their face, you guys. They have no idea what's coming. They have absolutely no idea what's coming. What's up, Hog? Good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. Yes. Baby Yoda says, hey, Red, I'm going to fade away for a while. Going off grid. Sorry for the lack of tip. I'll be back. Baby Yoda, I hope you're okay, buddy. I will always be here, and as soon as you return, brother, we will be here for you. Vaping leaves microparticles your lungs can't eject. Alex, well, I haven't seen any research to say that vaping causes any serious illness or even cancer. And before I started vaping, I had a lesion on my lung. I had a spot on my lung. That went away, and now my lungs are fine, and I have a far better capacity. Anyways, Baby Yoda, I love you, brother. I hope you're going to be around for the rest of this broadcast. Honest content. The tides will turn. Red Pill 78. Trusting the plan always wins. Exactly. How many times have I told you guys? I've seen the end. God wins. We win. This is us taking our country back, guys. We are watching it take place a day at a time. How many years have the deep state and the cabal been in charge in our planet, in our country? It's been decades, if not centuries, okay? Think about unwinding all of that and rebuilding a new paradigm. That's exactly what we're doing. Now, it's just going to take some time. All right. And President Trump is smart. He is timing it specifically to coincide with his election. It's brilliant, guys. He has to win. He has to win this year in 2020. Look at this. This is a female Punisher skull from our friend Praying Medic. I kind of like that, buddy. Here, let's see. Whatever. Oh, we also had that post from John Cardillo or Cardio, however you say it. Okay, here's the left. Kyle Cheney. Breaking. DOJ has dropped pursuit of criminal charges against McCabe. And then John says, they've only dropped the investigation arising from Horowitz's 2018 referral. This has nothing to do with Durham's investigation, which is still ongoing. That's correct. And we had a blank post also. And then we had this one, which is from Andrea Junker. You guys, her notifications were probably going off the chain, and I bet you she freaked out when she got posted by Q. 24,000 likes she's got. Mythical says, I sent you a message about vaping coils on Twitter a while back. Good info in it. Okay, sweet, dude. I appreciate that. Andrea Junker says, I need someone to explain to me why Bill Barr can immediately sit down with ABC, but not under oath before Congress. Explain it to me like I'm in kindergarten. And then Joe M says, well, you see, the public needs to learn about the corruption in the Obama FBI and clowns in America that led to the phony Mueller probe in the first place, before Barr explains his actions on the Roger Stone case. He needs time to declassify the forged FISA warrants. Simple enough for you? And you're blocked. Joe M gets blocked by Andrea Junker. She blocked me? Oh, man. I bet you she blocked a lot of people. I thought about posting and saying something, you know, like congratulations, but I just didn't even want to worry about it. Oh, I would love to play this, you guys, but this is going to have that copyrighted song in it. Look at this. Craig Mason, my good friend Craig Mason. I bet this girl probably freaked out today. She was like, who's Q? Who's Q? What does getting Q'd mean? Okay, then let's, we've also got this article from the Washington Examiner breaking down the Durham probe into, what's his name, John Brennan. Durham scrutinizing John Brennan's handling of Russian interference in 2016. You guys think Brennan is going to get into this? What's it going to be biblical mean? Sorry, well, think about in the Bible when God struck down those, let's talk about the Tower of Babel, Sodom and Gomorrah. We had plagues upon nations. That's what going biblical means. These people are going to be decimated. Social Observer. I'm okay with the government falling and preserve the country. Yeah, I mean, I think it needs to. We need to start over. We need a brand new system, or we need to go back to the original system. Razzle says, if I wasn't so blind, I would be able to see if that lapel pin that Hannity was wearing was a Q pin. Razzle, thank you for the super chat. It is not. It is not a Q pin. I believe it's like a Secret Service pin or something like that. All right, but let's get into the meat of the program, guys. Let's go ahead. We're going to open up the phones, and we're going to talk about the Adam and Eve story, and we're going to talk about silent weapons for quiet wars. So hopefully you guys had an opportunity to open up the document that I sent over. Now, here's the other thing, guys. Somebody sent me the full text of the Adam and Eve story. Yes, it is. That's exactly what we need, Hog, is a clean slate. So here is the declassified and sanitized copy of the clown's Adam and Eve story, which is only titled Adam and Eve story here, but the full text is called The Adam and Eve Story, The History of Cataclysms. So this is literally the whole book. Hopefully everything's going to be okay. The fact that I'm showing it. But this was published back in 1993. This version was published back in 1993. And this was sanitized and released back in 2013. So this copy that they released has about 57 pages, 56 or 57 pages. The original version of the text has a lot more pages. So very, very interesting stuff. Bogan33, hey, is this a new email? Happy Valentine's Day, RP from Team Bogan. Kim and Kevin, did you guys start an account that you're sharing? Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys as well. All right, guys, so I'm going to drop the links for Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, and we're going to open up the phones. And we're going to talk about this stuff. And then, because I definitely, if you guys have some experience, you've read this before, you've read Milton William Cooper. Oh, shoot. I don't have a Zoom call open. I'm just on, I just realized I'm just on OBS. Let's get a Zoom call going, and we'll have you guys join in on the fun. Jennifer Small, I will thank you for that super chat in just a moment. Tom Fitton says no evidence of prosecution by Barr. Tom Fitton is not part of the DOJ. Tom Fitton is a great guy. He's doing great work, but he does not have the inside scoop in the same way that I believe Sean Hannity does. Okay, let's turn off my camera, and let's get this in here. I love Tom Fitton, don't get me wrong, but Tom Fitton, I don't know that he's a Q guy, to be honest with you. I mean, Tom Fitton has been dealing with an obstructive government for a really long time, so he has zero faith that they're going to come in and do anything. All right, so there is the Zoom link. It's going to go into the description of the video, guys. The description is the part just below the video itself, and then let me throw the text up on the screen. Don't call this text yet. Let me get it set up. Okay, so invite, copy invitation. Let's throw that into my notepad. And the meeting ID. You guys know the number. That will be in there. Join the conversation, and you can speak with Red Pill 78 and friends about quiet weapons for silent wars. So there we go. All right, now I just need to get that document pulled back up again, and we're going to throw it over onto a different screen so that I can see it. Okay, guys, let's see. Tom Fitton does great work. Different level of woke. Gypsy Nurse Kathy is correct. Tom Fitton is incredible, okay? I said this before. I donated to Judicial Watch this year. I think that Judicial Watch is a very, very worthy organization. They're doing incredible things. Should I put it up there? Yeah. We'll put that up there. Okay, Tom Fitton and Judicial Watch are doing incredible things. There we go. Ooh, Denise, my good friend Denise from the UK. And looks like Denise is getting her microphone ready. So let me make this Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars bigger, and I'll put it over on the right. There we go. And we'll get my video capture device up there. Okay. All right. So this document was originally taken from two sources, guys. The first was acquired by a website, which was taken from Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. The second source was a crudely copied booklet. This is the cool thing. It was a booklet that was inside of a copier. All right, so somebody was making a copy of it, forgot, and left it in there. Denise, are you there, my friend?
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Lovely, lovely. I'm very excited about what's going on. So what's on your mind?
Well, I have to admit I was a bit disconcerted as well until I got my head straightened around Bar. Enjoyed the show, enjoyed your Matt Couch. I follow him on Twitter.
He's great.
Very interesting. And Julian Assange is due to be in court here in the UK this month.
Is that
end of the month?
Is that going to be anywhere near where you are? Like, would you potentially be able to go there and get footage?
No.
Okay. All right. It was worth a shot, you know.
Unfortunately not, but I'm sure somebody will be. I'm sure that somebody will be there with a mobile, filming it.
Listen, this is an open invitation. If there's any UK patriots out there that have the ability to show up in court and get some footage, or maybe pictures of Julian being taken into court, that would be great to get, and then I would show it here on the program and give you guys props for sure.
I'm sure somebody will post it somewhere, and if I find one, I'll snatch it and send it to you.
I appreciate it.
That's all I wanted to say. Happy Valentine, kisses, and all that rubbish.
XOXO. Happy Valentine's to you too, Denise.
Okay, night, pet.
Nope, night. Bye-bye. All right. Always a pleasure when Denise calls in. All right. Who do we have next? Coming up next. Oh, Aaron. Aaron, my girlfriend and I were watching videos of you and filming your songs, dude. I thought that you might be an Elvis impersonator, but I didn't realize that it was like full on, man. It's very good.
Hey, well, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, somebody has to do it.
You did an excellent job. And we watched the commercial for your game too.
Oh yeah? Great.
Yeah.
Thanks. And I want to give you one of those games. I need your address.
Oh yeah, totally.
Place. Now, don't tell me where you really live, because I don't want to know where the Bat Cave is.
I can give it to you right now, actually. Hold on. You got a pen?
Yeah. Why,
Okay.
you got a pig?
Yeah, send it to 993. That's the building number.
Okay.
And then put a C, like space C.
Okay.
And that's South Santa Fe Avenue. And then number 245. Vista, California. 92083.
92083.
Yep. Honest Content says, Cool Cat is back, Red Pill. Love this guy. I know. He's good. You guys, we're going to be doing a show in March, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now, so tune in.
Did you see my Truth Quest show?
Yes, I did. I did see the Truth Quest show. Yeah, very good.
And I got, I was inspired by you, of course, and also, I see you have Teespring. I have a Trump Rocks Teespring and a Truth Quest Teespring. Now,
right on.
Cool. But this book that you have you read the whole thing?
The Adam and Eve story, or Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars?
The one that you have the full text of, the book.
I haven't read it yet, though. No, if you want a copy, I'll gladly send it over to you. It's hard to find. I didn't find it. Somebody who watches the show sent it to me, and I'm so sorry. I don't know who you are. But if you're in the chat, you can go ahead and say something.
Yeah, you can send it to me if you want to, or it's in the link. I'll just grab it. But
oh no, it's a PDF. It's on my hard drive. I'll email it to you.
What I remember from what I heard about this before was miles high tidal waves, 700-mile-an-hour winds, and so if you're near any large body of water, it's. I mean, I'm thinking maybe like a round metal, like padded.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grim prospect. I mean, if you are, anyone on the coast, I mean, and that's a lot of people in the United States. I mean, basically, if you're not in the Midwest, then, good luck to you. It makes me wonder, I mean, even people who live in Michigan, I mean, Great Lakes, it's surrounding you. I mean, like, what's going to happen there? I mean, is it going to be just a universal shift of water? I mean, and for what reason? I mean, the thing is, I think that it discusses, let me get it pulled up here. And so the chapters in the book, let me see. Hold on. We're going to go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go over to it to the right. So the first chapter is the next cataclysm, then the great floods, then the story, then the event, then Genesis, then cataclysms revisited, then conclusion, then the author. So it's 127 pages. So about half the book is redacted. I haven't had time to go all through it. And it seems like it's explaining the like what actually happened in these recurring cataclysms. And the only reason that I can think that the clowns in America would redact it like this is because it was so dead on, and they don't want people to realize that this is going to happen again, which I can understand. I mean, you don't want people to stop their daily lives. You want them to continue to, consume and, go out and about. If everybody thinks that a cataclysm is coming, then everybody's going to stop living. But, I mean, I know I'm going to die, but I'm not going to let it stop me from living. But a lot of people, might not feel that way.
No, I don't plan to die. I plan to live forever. And so far, my plan is working.
As long as I'm here, I'm still living. So,
so maybe these underground caverns, many miles under the earth, maybe that's why these ancient civilizations all went underground.
Let me ask you a question, Aaron. Do you know who Glenn Keely is?
No.
Okay, look him up. He is. He's a researcher. He was like a banker. My girlfriend, I think she's asleep, but if you're listening, then, pipe in. But he had been told, he developed this thing called the Desdemona Code. Okay, it's very difficult to find any information about Glenn or about the Desdemona Code. But it essentially like lays out this like layer of control that exists throughout everything. Like our overseers communicate to each other through this code. through fonts, and a lot of different things. But essentially that's what it was, is there was like, you know, the Cro-Magnons and then the Neanderthals and like, you know, underground caverns and these different layers of the earth. But I think that you're right on that they went down into these caverns, they survived, and then, you know, mankind kind of repopulated.
And according to, I don't know what you think about Corey Good's testimony, but he said that one of the main reasons that they started NASA was to get to the moon to look for ejecta from the sun from a previous cataclysm, and they found it, a bunch of black glass on the far side of the moon.
I mean, I've seen stuff about the black glass on the moon, but I never heard Corey say that specifically. Corey's very interesting. I wouldn't mind having Corey on the program. I mean, it's difficult to wrap your brain around some stuff, you know? I mean, like, people, the more fantastic the story, the harder it is for people to accept.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I don't know that Corey's lying, and I don't know that he's telling the truth, you know, but I'm an objective observer, and I'm happy to, you know, just listen when people have cool things to say.
When I first heard him, I was very skeptical, and he mentioned something that he was at this base and there was lighting, but he couldn't see where the light was, and he asked where the light was coming from. They said, "Oh, we produce all of our light from sound waves." So
wow.
I did a Google research on DuckDuckGo or wherever, and found out that there is this company, a startup company, a very small, couple-year-old company, that is working on creating light using sound. So
that's incredible.
And now he's always talking about how all the planets and all the stars are connected by like an electronic filament. And now on Suspicious Observers, mainstream scientists are saying, wow, there's this electronic filament that's connecting all the stars and planets.
Is that like, is that somehow connected to the electric universe theory?
Yes, it's the cosmic web, and they can use that to travel and to communicate.
Oh, cool. Well, that's awesome. There's some people from Suspicious Observers who watch the program, so I've actually wanted to get them on the program to talk about this stuff before. That's really cool.
And the other thing is, if Corey Good was making this up, why would he put really super embarrassing, very, very embarrassing situations, like when his buddy told him to take all his clothes off, and then this beautiful alien woman comes in and he's laughing because he made him get naked. I mean, why would he add that? You know, I mean, it doesn't make sense if he's making something up. Why would he make himself look like an idiot?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there. All right, Aaron, well, listen, buddy, we've got some more people waiting, so we're going to move on. But thank you for the call. I will, I want to make sure you got my zip code correct, because somebody says they think I said it wrong. 92083.
92083.
Got it. Okay. Got it. All right, sweet, dude. I'll send you an email after the show.
You betcha. Thanks.
Right, peace.
Bye.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you.
All right, the great call. I love it when Aaron calls in. Okay, who's next, guys? Who's next? We've got Neeb, my good friend Neeb. How are you, buddy? Are you there? All right, you're pulling it up. Yeah, Brittany says, I'm not sure about David Wilcox. You know, I don't know. I don't know about any of these people. You know, people have stories, they have experiences, they want to come out and talk about it. You know, who am I to judge? You know, in my mind, there are so many things in this world and in the universe that I have absolutely no idea about. And until I actually experience it, I don't know it for, you know, with any honest, you know, truth. Okay, I need to say thank you to Jennifer Small. Tom Fitton says no evidence of prosecution by Barr. That's right. But again, Tom Fitton is not part of the DOJ or part of the Q team. Red Pill Doc says, I saw a YouTube video showing the greater than 10,000-year-old megalith ruins of Sacsayhuaman in Cusco, Peru, showing ancient battle scars that look like it just melted part of the rock. You're right, Red Pill Doc. I have seen that stuff too. Also, the way that those rocks were created, they appear to be, you know, sliced with some type of, you know, hot laser. Bob Ayala says, love the show, man. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Bob. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Honest Content has joined as a supporter of the program. Thank you so much, Honest Content. You guys, I hope you noticed that the icons next to your names when you become a member, they change. It starts out with a baby Donald Trump, and then it gets slightly older as you are a supporter for longer and longer. And then Jason Soretti says, thanks for all your work and messages you share. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're here. Neeb, buddy, it looks like maybe you're having problems with your mic. So what I'm going to do, we're going to bring in the next caller. I'm going to give you the time to get your microphone working. And then as soon as we're done with the next caller, if you're there, just... Oh, wait, Neeb, are you there? Your mic just popped on, but I don't hear anything yet. All right. Yeah, David Wilcox. Is it David Wilcox? Neeb, what's up, brother?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. So do you have any history with Bill Cooper or Silent Weapons and Quiet Wars and the Adam and Eve story?
Bill Cooper, I have actually read some work by him.
He's great.
Over the years, but it's been about 12, 13 years, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
So,
the last time I read anything, it was over a decade ago for sure.
I really don't like the fact that I can't operate my phone. It's ridiculous. I'm a tech nerd. But this program that you use is totally garbage. It's like, hey, plug in an audio device, and it's like, it doesn't work. So, anyways,
it seems you're not alone. It seems like the majority of people that I have call in with Zoom seem to have some type of technical issue with it. I will say that I use a Mac, and it is idiot-proof almost. So basically, you turn on the app and then you just hit go and it works. So
yeah, well, I guess, I'm not like, I will be very sensitive to words, of course, as you know, I'm typically not, but I praise you homosexuals that use the Macintosh platform.
Oh man, it just makes it so much easier. It's
no, I really just wanted to call and say that as much as I dumped you a DM on Twitter.
Right on.
The insanity of the language that has been used on 2 Q posts, as well as the recent dump by our man. This is going to be fun. Watch the ride. It's going to be savage, but everything is in place.
Absolutely. I agree.
Just read it.
100%. Do you want me to pull it up on the air?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Just check out my DM.
Hold on. I'm going to Twitter right now.
And I'm trying to figure out how to fucking... sorry.
Okay.
I'm Roseanne barring it, as usual.
Okay.
Yeah, I pay attention. I do.
Look at these lollers. Yes. Yeah, slam dunk charges, dude. And then the bigger slam dunk charges coming. Public understanding of events just around the corner. This is the thing. I don't fault anybody for having, a little bit of hesitation in believing that we're going to see something happen because, we've been living with this 2-tier justice system for our entire lives. I don't know how old you are, Neeb, but I mean, I'm going to be 42 this year. So as long as I've been alive,
You're looking better than me, buddy.
Thank you. I've been watching people get off for things that they should have, by all rights gone to prison for. I've been watching, just little guys like us go to jail or, get in trouble for things that other people are doing. Little guys taking the fall, and people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi just enriching themselves, not worrying about the American public, and absolutely just completely failing their oath to the Constitution. And now things are changing. And I know that there's a large contingent of the population that are not going to believe it until they actually see people doing the perp walk. So I don't blame you. But I want you to have faith.
So as you know, I'm a Jew, different than you. But what really kind of gets my goat lately is the pessimism of the people that both of you and I care about. Everybody that's like, again, I grew up very left wing. I'm not a conservative by any stretch of the imagination in a lot of respects. However, I've moved very far to the right over the past couple of years. And it is all going to happen. Don't worry about it. And I don't have faith in anything. But I do have an understanding and a whole documented history what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand with my Ashkenazi Jew brain or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it and I understand it. And it's funny that when people are like, oh, AG Barr, he's like losing his mind and he's opposing Trump. It's like, you understand the optics of everything, right?
Yes.
Trump usually poops. See, I censored myself. He poops on Sessions. He's like, Sessions, he's not doing anything. Blah, I'm going to have to fire him. Optics.
Yes.
Now, all people that oppose Trump are like, hey, Sessions must be a good guy because he opposes Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you figure it out, then Sessions gets to operate. And then now we have Barr. I can't deal with Trump and his tweets and whatever. I can't work. Same thing, but in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is smoothly operating as it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And I love it, man. I love you.
Well, I love you too, brother. Think about this too. Just a couple days ago, they were calling for Bill Barr's removal. Now he speaks out. He speaks out against Trump, and they're like, "Oh, wait, we don't want to get rid of Barr.
No,
he's our guy."
Let's get rid of Trump, but let's keep Bill Barr. Let's probably give him a cake and like have a party, whatever.
That's exactly it. All right, brother. Thank you so much for calling in. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to keep it short. Thank you.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll do.
Bye-bye. All right. Coming up next. God, great calls, you guys. Keep it up. Keep up these calls. I don't know who's next, but looks like your phone number ends 4741. You are on the air, caller. Can I get your name?
Yeah, it's Hater Proof.
Hater Proof.
What's going on, man? I don't know if he was talking about the little kid from the Rat video back in the 80s, or like that bulldog from the cartoon. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna stick with Barr though.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna hold. Yeah, I'm gonna hold faith, and I'm gonna keep my faith.
I think that's a wise decision, dude. I think that Barr is. I mean, he's clearly our guy. I don't think that President Trump would have chosen him. Everything has been so tactical. I mean, you just go back, look at all of these decisions. And like you can
see it you can see a complete he was flipping them. He let them out again and then played them right out like fish. And everybody has to realize too, they have to remember they have FISA on these people and they had ×2 out on their contacts.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
This entire time. So I mean, what do you think they were talking about on their computers, on their phones, everything? It's all there.
Did we get new Q proofs? No. I'm sorry. God's Child said, "Can we get to the new Q drops, or I'm going to have to exit and go see myself?" We already went over them, God's Child. There are no new Q proofs that have come into my server. So as soon as I get them,
Red?
Yeah. As soon as I get them, we'll see them, guys. Don't worry about that. But yeah. I mean, good times, man. I mean, I can clearly see it. You look back on this stuff and you can see the way that Trump and Sessions were playing the Dems and playing the public, by everybody glorifying Sessions and Trump decrying him and the job he was doing. He was able to work in the shadows. He gave us Durham. Okay, he's given us the prosecutors that are now overseeing what happened in the Michael Flynn case and in the Roger Stone case, in the stuff from Ukraine. That guy that I just reported on the other day from Pennsylvania. I mean, he came in back in early 2017 when Sessions was still here. All of these people worked directly under Sessions, and now they are cleaning up the trash. And the only reason it's taken so long is because they had to build a case. They had to make sure it was slam dunk, okay? Put it all together, all the pieces together. And then we had to get to 2020, all right? Trump is too smart to let this stuff not be used in his reelection campaign.
I think what a lot of people got to remember, Red, is that if it were you and you were going to be hung or you were going to be sent to prison or you were going to be shot for treason or lethal injection, let's say, or put into Gitmo, you would want the same process as a due process given to you as what maybe they didn't even give to people.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some of us feel that they don't deserve it, but I think taking the moral high ground, and not falling to the same things that they want us to do to turn on one another, to create that Hegelian dialectic, or to use that political correctness and that critical theory, rather, so that we turn on one another, and then they can offer a solution to the problem. Kind of like they tried to do when, I don't know, maybe like certain relief agencies went down to South America and handed out a bunch of tickets and money and told people to come up to the border, because then when, illegal, then Trump's a racist. So that's how they were going to offer the solution to the problem in which they created.
Right.
Just another issue that, not to mention human trafficking and all the other things that they're involved with drugs, guns, and
President Trump and Barr just talking about human trafficking the other day. So you made a great point there. Okay. We are going to give them due process. We are going to provide them all of the rights that they denied us all this time, because we are setting the precedent for the rule of law here in America yet again. Okay, we cannot play the same down low dirty tricks that they played against us, because we're better than them. All right, and I have
the most important thing about the rule of law, my friend, is that certain unalienable rights constitutionally protect each and every single one of us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Our God-given rights. And if we degrade that rule of law, that's where it comes down to self-governance and the personal choice, the subjective choice that we make each day, not an objective choice, not socialism.
Yep.
It's a subjective choice that we make each day as individuals. If we follow the rule of law and we take the time as individuals to do it ourselves, the world will be the utopia that they use for their Hegelianism to take from us.
Exactly.
And not only take from us financially, take from us spiritually, take from us consciously, and take our children and drink them or whatever they want to do with them. Just wrong.
Oh,
so
well said. Well said. No, it's totally correct. Okay, we can have the world that we deserve, but we cannot sink to the same depths that they have sunk to. We have to provide them with this due process so that we can continue to receive that later on in future generations. We're going to go back to a glorious time. This is the golden age, my friends. Okay, we are entering the golden age. We are leaving the dark ages, and things are going to be so much better in the future. We just have to have the courage to accept it and to go along with it. We're not going to just pull people out of their houses and drag them into the town square and have, a good old-fashioned lynching. We're not going to do that. We're going to give these people a tribunal. We're going to give them a court case. We're going to allow them to make a defense for themselves. But the only problem is it's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk. They're not going to get away with it.
Yeah, and the only problem with lies is you have to make up more lies to hide the lies that you've already told.
Yep.
And see, that's why it's so important why I've said #truth equals #love, because the truth is the only thing that's going to set us free to love one another again in humanity. So if we can learn just to tell the truth subjectively, the world literally will be the utopia, crime-free. We won't need police. We won't need a government to tax us. We won't need a cultic, satanic, originic, Bavarian Luciferianist cult to form all these secret organizations and all these goofy methodologies over the years and ideologies to basically run us and kill us into the ground. We then can literally be free as God intended, and as not only God intended, but the U.S. Constitution intended. They're this great experiment that you and I are in, that we fight and die for to be free.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, so I just want to say I'm proud, man, to have somebody like you, dude, that gets it, that understands everything from their Hegelianism to their political correctness to their socialism to their cultural Marxism to their Marxism to their Maoism to their Stalinism and so on. I'm glad that there's somebody like you that can understand and see the patterns that go all the way back in history, back past the Lima and the OTO. It's an idea. And so here we are. Right. And that's why they act like they're all enlightened with their duality, and they have little checkered floors on their little temples and all their weird stuff and their symbolism. Is because, see, they understand that whole yin and yang. They understand that indifference in this great war that we're in between the truth and lies, or the indifference between right and wrong. And see, and their argument is in the science, that if there wasn't one, you couldn't have the other. Oh, I beg to differ. I beg to differ that we couldn't have a world that we continually perpetuate and move forward in instead of looking behind.
Exactly. Yeah. Just because we have the truth doesn't mean we need the lies, okay? They
and I may not be here, but my son will, Red.
Exactly. All right,
So-
hater proof, brother. I love it when you call in, man. Excellent calls tonight, you guys. Thanks for calling, dude.
Love you too, man.
Love you too, man.
All right,
Peace.
I hope I get to talk to Roseanne, by the way. And if I
Oh.
don't, man, you tell her that my mother is her hugest fan, and then she's probably listening, I'd imagine, and she's going to be on in a couple of days.
I hope so.
So, Roseanne, my mother watched you for years and laughed so annoying that I could have jumped off a bridge. Anyway.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, later, man.
Yep, peace. Bye-bye. All right, guys, I need to say thank you to a couple of people. Social Observer says, David Wilcock, Jenny McCarthy interview on Monday. Interesting. I'll check that out. Son of a Green Card says, Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. My wife got flowers, and I bought a new everyday carry. Great day indeed. Good stuff, man. Chris Hawkins says, Truth, RP, truth. That's one reason why I love you. You always speak the truth. I have always said I plan to live forever. Jesus Christ promised it to me, and all I had to do was believe. That is very, very true. Yes, someday I will shuffle off this mortal coil and I will continue to live on in another form. Baby Yoda says, off chat, love and shot. Love you too, Baby Yoda. Hope you're okay, buddy. Hannah BR12 says, keep it up. Thank you for that, Hannah. Big Hair Tsunami, what's up, brother? I'll track and drag Baby Yoda back to the art chat, RP. He ran out of Charmin toilet paper, that's all. He's a Colorado spelunker, a.k.a. colonoscopy sponge tank. Steven Suarez says, rather than complimenting your work, I just want to say for 42, lucky girl whoever's sleeping with you. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate it. And then Rick Wolf says, thanks for being here and doing what you do. Thank you so much. Okay, looks like our favorite Anon posted again. I'm not getting any posts coming in yet, guys. Let me close down. Actually, let me check on my phone. Let me see if it's coming in on my phone. The last post that I have is from CJ Truth. Sometimes they take a few minutes to update, you guys. We'll see. Maybe somebody else can pull up the post, or maybe I can just run to Twitter and see if Methods put it up. Methods, did you put up the latest Q post? Let's see. Because he's taking it right off the boards. M2. No. I don't see anything on here, you guys. I'm telling you, the last post that I have is the CJ Truth post. If you guys have anything that you can show me, then I love it. I'll pull it up. All right, coming up next, another solid call. Justin is on the air. Justin, you are on the air with Red Pill 78 and family. It looks like you got to get your microphone working. 3867 is the last post. Yeah. Hang on. Oh. Let me go to QMap. Let's see. Yeah.
Hey, Red Pill.
Hey, what's up, Justin? How are you, buddy?
Hey, I got a quick question for you. I was wondering if you could talk about Kate Spade. I was really fascinated by that whole situation.
Yeah, that was a strange one. Kate Spade. Okay, so she was the handbag designer who was red scarfed, and then her husband, who I think they had a special relationship. They had an agreement where he could go out and do whatever he wanted. Dave Spade, or no, I'm sorry, he was the brother of David Spade, or cousin or something like that. He came out wearing that mouse mask from The Rescuers. Yeah, I think that Kate Spade was taken out because she found out what was happening with her company. They were using her company as cover for some type of nefarious activities. There's a YouTuber that I watch sometimes called oh shoot, what's her name? Simone something. I think that's her name. I don't know, but supposedly she like she's a psychic, and she spoke with Kate Spade supposedly, and like got all this information. It was a fascinating listen, whether or not you believe in stuff like that. But I just thought that it sounded like it was plausible. Do you got any thoughts on the whole situation?
I just really was interested in it. I got red pilled by my mom because she carried a Kate Spade purse. And then that whole rat face was just so bizarre.
Yeah. I will. I covered it a little bit when I first started. Maybe I'll go back and find that video, and then I'll put it out just as a segment, because it was part of another larger segment. But yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the situation a little bit closer and see like what I even thought at that time. But I definitely think that Kate Spade was removed from the situation because it was part of that whole like rash of red scarvings. And it wasn't long after Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington died in very similar mysterious circumstances. The cursor's on your face. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Well, what did your mom think about it?
You know, we never actually spoke about it, but she still carries that purse to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that Kate Spade did not leave this world of her own accord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange. Well, how about the other stuff? Are you familiar with Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars or the Adam and Eve story?
No, I was listening to that. It's really interesting to me. I'm going to dig into that deeper tonight.
Yeah, this I mean, essentially, Silent Weapons, the Quiet War or the Silent War is what we're like engaged in right now, and that's what I really think that Q was talking about in these multiple posts where he hinted at it. But silent weapons are weapons that that can be used against us at any time in any way that we don't realize are being used. So like I look at it and I think 5G, I think the chemicals in everything that we're being fed and all the products that we use, monetary constraints, debt slavery, all of these things are silent weapons. It's how the elite have been able to control us for so long because, they control the money, they control everything.
It's scary, man. Real scary.
It is. I think we're coming out of it, though. What do you think? You think we're going to win, Justin?
I think we're definitely going to win.
All right. Good stuff. I love it. All right, brother. Thanks for your call. I appreciate it.
Thanks for tagging me. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Talk to you soon. Okay. All right. Yeah, Adam. I don't have a link to the Adam and Eve story, guys. I've got a link to the redacted book. I don't have a link to the full text because it's not available online. One of our viewers sent it to me. There is the redacted version of the Adam and Eve story. So that'll give you a highlight and you'll know what it's about. Van Niels is on the air. Van Niels, are you there? No, we have no microphone yet. I'm sorry. Hold on. I got a cough, guys. All right. Oh, Van just hung up. All right. Bye, Van. All right. Who's next? Phone number 9598. Caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name?
Bye, Dan. Stephanie Osteen.
Hey, Stephanie, can you mute the stream in the background?
Well, yeah, I think it can. Let me do that. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to mute you for a second.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Okay, good. Good. Stephanie, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, hi. Goodness, it was all there, and then you called, and then I went blank. Shit happens all the time, and I hate when that shit happens.
I totally understand.
I want to go back a little bit to if you were here, you could see all the hand signals. Stephanie, shut up. Everyone's having a blow over bars.
Yep.
And, I the first thing I want to bring to mind is who brought it to our attention? Mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Stop with the knee jerk. Everyone needs to stop with the knee jerk. Here it is. All right. It's out of context. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass. Trump talks. The timing. It's the timing. Okay. Yep. Oh, could I have not said something before? It doesn't even matter. Just throw that away. Besides that, I'm sorry. You're talking to a lady that's a little bit autistic.
No, it's no problem.
And then I did have some adult beverages, so that adds flavor to the story.
That's fine.
But anyway, no, that's. I'm glad it's fine. But let me. Oh God, I just saw you on my video and you're laughing. Okay, that's good. All right, so I'll carry on. Here's the problem. A lot of people are very upset over it, and they have every right to be. But I'm sitting here going, I'm not necessarily like how can people say trust the plan? No, I'm not going to go there because I have a mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not necessarily trusting the plan, but let me go back and use my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And my mind says, what's going on here with this going on? It got out in the leak.
Mm-hmm.
People know about it. So that tells me, oh God, I hate when I trail and then I look at something and I lose my train of thought.
I know where you're going. It's not about blind faith, okay? It is about using your logical deductive abilities and taking this in as a whole, okay? When you look at the totality of everything that's going on, in the way in which we receive the information, clearly the people who are leaking to the mainstream media are not allies of the president. If this was taken out of context, then, you know, I mean, we're missing the bigger picture. And
let me quiet you and go on with this. Damn it, I lost it again. I hate when that happens. I've got an animal loose in this building, and I'm like, I got trap set, and I can't catch her anyway. And then she just ran up and, you know, hopped on my leg and was like, you can't catch me. And then she ran off. So I was like, oh, distract me. I'm on the phone trying to talk. And anyway, no, you're right. And on that point, here's the deal. It doesn't matter. Keep talking, and oh God, you've got a blank face. I just saw it on the screen.
I'm just
Say
waiting.
something, and I'll pick it back up. You were talking a moment ago. You know, I've got a colander brain.
Sean,
So,
hold on just a second. Sean told me to quit pissing off Roseanne. How did I piss? I think I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm not Roseanne. I'm very much like her, but I'm not her. Okay.
Yes,
I
this
hope
isn't
to talk
Roseanne.
to her. I'm so much like her. You know, that's what happens. You know, we're just in that classification.
Yeah.
Move on.
All right.
Well, God that said that.
Stephanie, I appreciate your call, hon. We've got 10 people behind you, and we got 10 minutes left in the show.
This is important. What I was going to say is people are reacting to this. All this is just being brought to the forefront. So here's the thing. You can't get things going on without first getting the anger from the population. Everything that's going on right now is just to get this stuff has been going on for years. Many of us know this already.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us sort of know the outcome, but the whole bottom line is the general public that watches the 6 televisions that are all controlled by 1 or 2 people,
mm-hmm.
they do not know. So you have to free the public of what's going on.
Exactly.
And on that note, I'll let you go. I'm so sorry for taking your time.
Stephanie, thank you for calling, hon. I appreciate it.
I wish you would let me talk to you one day because I get people laughing their asses off. But on that note, I got to catch a damn ringtail cat that is... Damn it! Anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Are you going to play this again so I can come back and look at it? Because right now I'm looking at the wall. I cannot.
Yes.
I cannot talk to you and then do this at the same time.
You can.
Then I go.
You can watch it immediately.
I would turn into dead air, and then at that point, that would suck for everyone. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, Stephanie. Oh, that was a great call. All right, Tim Becker is coming up next. Tim, you're on the air. We've got video, but I don't have audio yet. Hopefully you get that going on. All right, guys. Oh, you guys, that was a great caller.
You got me now?
I got you now, Tim. What's up,
yeah,
brother?
Yeah. I turned it down on my cell phone.
Okay,
I don't know.
good.
I'm still laughing from Stephanie.
She was great.
She was pretty funny. She's pretty funny.
Yes, she was.
I don't know. What was I thinking? A show that'd be great to do. Somebody brought up Kate Spade.
Yes.
The whole Chris Cornell and who's the other dude from the other bands?
Chester Bennington.
Yeah. So there's a lot of deep dives that can be done on there. Which
you could throw what's his name in there? Bourdain.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain, because they were all. I mean, obviously you know the stories, but that'd be a good deep dive.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking about, like on the agenda to talk with Roseanne about?
Oh, we're going to be talking about what happened with the second season of Roseanne and the treatment that they gave her in Hollywood. We're going to be going heavy into that stuff, the Valerie Jarrett affair, if you will. So we're going to be talking about her experience in Hollywood. Also her experience and journey, basically from like being a union socialist to being a modern day conservative. Pretty interesting. Did you know she ran for president as a socialist?
Yeah. I remember hearing a little bit about that, but I mean, I think she completely, as soon as she said she was a Trump supporter, ABC just was like, "Oh yeah, you're out."
No, they were ready to get rid of her. They did not.
She's such a good chick, man. I'm glad you're having her on. But I don't want to take up too much time. I know you got like 8 more calls, but I'll call back again soon, man.
All right, Tim. We'll talk to you tomorrow, brother.
All right. Later, Red Pill.
Peace. All right, coming up next. Great call, Tim. Thanks for calling in, buddy. Doc Dulot, you are on the air.
Great call, Tim. Thanks for calling.
Oh, Doc, go ahead and mute your background. Mute my stream in the background, and then let's see. Doc, are you there?
Yep. Hold on.
Okay.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Hey. So, well, I just want to say that I feel honored to be able to talk to you. I've been watching you for a while, and you're the reason for a lot of people to be probably as far along as they are.
Man, that means a lot, Doc. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here with us.
Hey, I got this book in front of me. I wanted to share this. I bought it some time back. It's called Mind War by Michael Aquino.
Michael Aquino.
Yeah.
He was the official satanic chaplain for the U.S. Army, if I'm not mistaken.
This thing is weird, and I don't know anything about it, and I didn't know what you were about to get into, but I just kind of wanted to just see if this was something that was legit, or it looks, I tell you, just to look at it, you can't tell there's anything nefarious about it, so it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, and I mean, because he's a colonel, unless you know the history, then he's official. So yes, Michael Aquino was he was a PSYOP officer for the military. He was presiding. He was in charge of the Presidio. There was the military base in California back in the 80s when there was some controversy about children there. So yeah, Michael Aquino, if you do a Google search for him, hold on, I'll do it. And then we'll show what, just wait till you see what this guy looks like. He's got these crazy eyebrows. I mean, I've got long eyebrow hair, but his eyebrows like come up like this, like he's evil.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he is an evil guy. And his wife looks like, oh God, okay, here it is. Hold on, watch your computer screen. Look at these eyebrows on this guy. Yeah, he was involved in some really nefarious stuff. And he's got a wife that, here we go. This is him on, he founded the Temple of Set. That's right. It was like a breakaway from the Satanic Church. And Michael Aquino is just a really bad guy. And look, I
would have thought you just showed me an Austin Powers scene.
I know, right? Yeah, he's kind of a classic villain looking guy. Yeah.
Hey, I want to just tell you one more thing. So here's what I've been thinking. So one of these books I got from that was a Q Trip Code Link book. Mm-hmm. It talks about like a sky event in about 9500 BC, which, I'm like, whatever. So, but I was kind of thinking about the caves in Cappadocia. Mm-hmm. And do you remember the round stone? They had like a protection when they were underneath in the caves. It was a strange, just huge piece of stone that they could pull over, to protect them. So I kind of started thinking that perhaps there's like they were sort of protecting themselves from the giants or something. I mean,
that makes sense.
And the whole giant thing's just, I mean, whatever. I don't even know. But what's so strange is if like this sky event occurred and it wiped out, them, we may have survived by being underground.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's just some weird stuff going on.
Did you hear?
Happening fast.
Aaron suggested that earlier. I don't know if you heard it that time, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think it's very possible. Look into Glenn Keely, you guys. Somebody murdered him. This guy was really on point with a lot of information, and they definitely came after him because he was saying too much. But what I'll try to do is put together some information about Glenn. I want to present it to the audience because I think you guys will find it really interesting. All right, listen. Thank you so much for your call, Doc. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. Okay, we got one more caller, guys. We're gonna go to one more caller, and you are on the air.
We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Go ahead and mute me. Go ahead and mute the stream. Mute the stream. Mute the stream.
One more caller.
Mute the stream, caller. Okay, caller, I know you can hear me. Make sure you mute your stream on the computer, and I'm going to come back to your phone call, and we'll get your question. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi. Can I get your name for the audience?
I know you can hear me. Make sure
you've got to mute my stream. You got to mute the stream. So I know you're watching the stream. You got to mute the stream so then we can talk, because otherwise it'll get feedback coming through. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes. What's your name?
Hey, it's Kelly from Virginia.
Hey, Kelly. How are you?
Yeah. I just wanted to call in, and you were talking to Aaron earlier, and he was talking about a guy with light and sound.
Yes.
There's a guy you guys can check out. I've met him personally. He's deceased now, but his name was Dr. David Van Koevering, Keuvering. He was from Chattanooga, Tennessee area.
Got him.
Outside Chattanooga. And he invented all kinds of things. He invented the black layer that goes on like the shuttles, the heat resistant layer. He invented the Mohs synthesizer. He invented all kinds of crazy stuff. But anyway, he's got videos on YouTube and stuff you can check out. But one of the things he invented was this laser that converted sound into light.
Really?
And we did a worship of about 100,000 people went to the Titan Stadium in Nashville. And we did worship for like 24 hours, just, worship to God, just worship session. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, and he had 7 of those units at the worship session. And they picked up our worship in Russia because it would take the sound, convert it into a light in a laser, and it would shoot it up above the Van Allen belt. And so the sound of our worship was heard around the world.
Wow.
And it was picked up in Russia. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's a fascinating guy. He's a musicologist as well. And so he was a really wonderful guy. He actually died like 12 times.
Really?
And he had an encounter with God.
Wow.
And when he was in heaven, he heard the sounds of heaven, and he got this, he called it a blueprint, and he built this piano that plays the sounds of the chemical elements.
Wow.
So anyway, it's pretty fascinating, deep stuff, and I just could see it'd be up your guys' alley, to check it out.
That is totally awesome. I really appreciate that. I've already got his information and all of his books pulled up right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it out, and I'm gonna put his full name into the chat. There you guys go, Dr. David Van Koevering. All right, sweet. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for your call. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thanks.
We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
Bless you as well. All right, you guys, awesome show tonight. I really appreciated all the really quality calls. You guys had a lot of great things to say, and I want to say thank you to everyone who was here with us tonight watching. We've got just over 3,400 people, and I need to give a couple of quick thank yous for these last few super chats. Rick Wolf says, thanks for being here and doing what you do. Brittany Taylor just said, Red Pill. Thank you, Brittany. Glad you're here. And then Carol Blitz says, sucks to be single on Valentine's Day, but watching this tonight has been a real hoot. Thank you, RP and callers, for immense entertainment. Carol, I'm glad that you could join us, and I'm so glad that everybody was here with us tonight. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pilled News. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Good luck, and God bless.